What's up, people? It's your boy Stefan, and we're back with another episode of Football on Demand. Once again, I'm joined by Ed and Emmanuel, and today we've got something a bit different for you. We're going to be talking about the greatest of our generation. We're going to jump straight into it, and the first topic is going to be who is the greatest defender of our generation? Ed, you start for me.
Guys, come on. Do we even have to ask this? It's obviously Van Dijk, isn't it? So we can just end this right here, right now. Save yourself the debate. Nah. What best defender I've ever seen in my lifetime in terms of the Premier League era? Oh, it's a tough one, but I would probably say it's got to be John Terry. Now, I don't really like him as a human being. I think he's a bit of a scumbag and all that, but personals aside, on a football pitch, he's like, you can't deny the guy is probably one of the best defenders I've ever seen. Just his reading of the game, his heading ability, his aerial dominance was just second to nothing. And also on top of that as well, his leadership skills are just amazing to me. So I think he's probably the best defender I've seen in the Premier League era. Obviously, I rate guys like, Vidic and Ferdinand, but for me, I just think Terry ranks above them. Van Dijk, the jury's still out. It's still a bit early for him. He's only, had one or two good seasons, whereas Terry was here doing it consistently. What are you guys telling me? What do you think?
It's a good answer, but I don't think it's the right answer. Obviously, if I'm going best defenders ever, I'm probably saying it's out of Ferdinand or Vidic. For me, if I'm picking one, it's gonna have to be Vidic for the way he just led that back four of United for all those years, winning them Premier Leagues, them Champions League year in, year out. Obviously, there's a debate which one was more important, Ferdinand or Vidic, but I have to say like Vidic was more dominant one in the defense when they're communicating on the pitch. Vidic was that guy. So for me, I'm going to say Vidic is the greatest of our time. John Terry, don't get me wrong, John Terry was good. He won a few Premier Leagues with Chelsea, also won the Champions League. But if we're going Vidic against John Terry, it's going to have to be Vidic for me.
Yeah, Vidic was. There's no debate. This isn't even a debate.
No debate. Not worthy for debate.
This isn't even a debate.
But are you guys taking consideration the longevity that Terry did it at and the level that Terry did it at?
This isn't a debate. This is not even a debate. Vidic, I would say, the best Premier League defender in the Premier League era. Best one. Commanding, dominant. Even goals he provided, and just that all out, it's all or nothing. Head on the line. Not to say John Terry didn't do that. That's not what I'm saying. But yeah. I don't think John Terry had even the footballing ability, the same level of footballing ability as Vidic.
You see, I'm gonna have to disagree there, Steph, because I think everything Vidic could do, Ferdinand could do. For example,
Terry,
goals.
You mean?
Anything that Vidic could do, I felt Terry could do.
Yeah, but in terms of higher goals, level, I would say Vidic. So they both.
Terry for Chelsea in the Premier League era scored 42 league goals. That's more than some strikers out here. He won practically everything in the game, and also he was leading Chelsea for a lot longer than Vidic. Now, I'm looking more on, the longevity side of things. Like with Vidic, don't get me wrong, I think Vidic was an amazing player. But there was games where Vidic, especially against Torres, where Vidic was shown up many times.
Yeah, but
I couldn't name you many players that had the drop on Terry like that.
John Terry's been. Listen,
yeah.
Man like Henry used to have John Terry in his back pocket, bro. These man them there used to have John Terry in his back pocket, bro. Let's not forget that, bro. Let's not get over that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's not.
Yeah, but the thing is, Henry used to have most man under his pocket, but the thing is, it became such a big thing where Torres always had Vidic on ropes.
But I remember that, to be honest.
It was more than once.
That was Liverpool versus Chelsea, though. That was Liverpool versus United, bro. That was just that fixture. In general, bro. That fixture was, forms out the window, bro. You just turn up on the day and see what happens. And do you know what? Like, if you want to go on those sort of games, you can look at many games where, form goes out the window. Derbies where you've seen, John Terry do dumb shit. Like even the Champions League final against United, bro. Man slipped with the penalty, bro. That could have been all him, bro. Like,
but
that could have been his moment, bro.
With that, I wouldn't say that's an error. That was just like, a trip. But when someone's got you on ropes every game and then the audacity of him as well to come out and say, oh, Torres was not even one of the best players I played against, but every single game they played, he had him on ropes. I don't think many players in their career had the drop on Terry like that. To me, I never saw that. The only players I could think that had Terry on the ropes like that would probably say Messi, Ronaldinho, and these are like elite players, and also Henry.
So you're saying no player in the Premier League had John Terry on the ropes when he used to play?
I'm saying they did. I'm naming them, like Henry definitely had Terry on ropes, but it wouldn't be to the level that Torres had Vidic on ropes on 3, 4, 5 times.
No, I think you're only concentrating on that because you're a Liverpool supporter.
So
it's easier for you to remember that.
Yeah.
It's easier for you to remember that because you're a Liverpool supporter. It's hard to remember because I don't focus on Chelsea like that. I don't focus on John Terry like that. But I remember watching John Terry being roasted a few times, but people won't say anything like that. But it's easy to remember because I remember Vidic getting turned inside out by Torres. I remember that. But that's because that was a huge game. Bro. Liverpool Manchester United used to be a huge game. Still is to a certain degree. Still is a huge game. But it used to have so much behind it, bro. Yeah. So it's easy to remember those ones.
Yeah, I'm not saying you've got a bad answer, Ed, because John Terry is probably arguably like top 3, top 5 in the Premier League era. So there's no arguing that. But in terms of like the answer, I'm saying Vidic just because of the way what Steph said, he was commanding in that back 4 line. And to be fair, they did win the most in that era. So that's just got to give him more of an advantage.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not gonna say you guys are wrong for saying Vidic because like I'm a massive fan of Vidic. I think he was an amazing defender. Yeah. Like for many years, he obviously did his job. But for me, I'll always just have a personal preference over Terry because like I was always the Terry fan. I wasn't a fan of John Terry the person. I was a fan of John Terry the defender, and because he gave me the old school vibes of what a defender should be. Can head the ball, clear his lines.
That was Vidic for me, yo. Vidic had that old school defender, bro.
Well,
I guess everything and the ball, bro.
Yeah, he was taking
everything and the ball, bro. It doesn't matter, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter
so
who you are.
Here's a question. Here's someone we've not touched on. What about Sol Campbell then?
He's up there, but I'm not gonna say I can't put him as the greatest. Like,
is that because he left Arsenal? Is that because he left Arsenal?
Nah. That's not the reason. But obviously, in terms of like quality, if I'm talking about the greatest ever in the Premier League, I just can't put him up there.
Don't get me wrong. Sol Campbell was a great defender, a great defender, and we can't dismiss the fact that he was a part of an invincible team.
Yeah,
this is it. You can't dismiss that fact. But I just don't think he had the same level of. I don't think he had that level to push him to the elite because I'm sure he always struggled to get into that England team to a point to become first choice in that England team. And now I think there was just that little bit he was missing. And I think it came down to just like little things like pace.
Yeah,
he wasn't
the quickest defender, but he was strong as hell, and I'd rate him, but like not in my top 3.
You know what though? I maybe not the case for Sol Campbell, but I'm looking at someone like Company. Now I think he's often someone I guess overlooked because like
the injuries.
But like I think people kind of sleep on Vincent Kompany. Like if you actually think about like, his achievements, granted he never won the Champions League, but if we're just talking about like out and out defenders. I don't really think there was that many more better than him, and I don't know what you guys think. I'm willing to debate.
I don't know. The problem that we have now is that we come into a different era of player. I think, and I think the era that he played in, the strikers that have been around there haven't been many top class strikers to play against. In my opinion, like the level of striker has not necessarily diminished, but it's reduced.
Because Company came out like the back end of like when Vidic and Terry.
Yeah.
Terry was still in the league to be fair,
Yeah,
but
and
Vidic
you know what I'm saying?
and
We had players like
Ferdinand.
Michael Owen still playing football, bro. Like, you know, like, you know, towards the end of his career. Obviously, he came up against a few some good strikers. I'm not going to say he didn't come up against good strikers, but I feel like the level of striker he played against wasn't. Could I put him up there? Nah, for me, he sits just below the top three. Just below.
Okay. So let's go around the room then. So what are you guys saying? If you had to give a list of your top 3 defenders, Manny, we'll start with you. What are you saying?
Yeah,
in the Premier League.
I'm going Vidic. I'm going John Terry, and then I'm going Ferdinand. That's my top 3. So I'm putting Terry above Ferdinand for me.
But why are we not talking about Ferdinand a lot more than if we're saying, are we just giving that credit to Vidic?
No. Ferdinand was a quality defender, bro.
Yeah, they were like neck and neck.
Ferdinand's reading of the game was immense.
Mm.
He was one of those guys that almost like the way people talk about Van Dijk now, how he doesn't need to slide tackle unless he really needs to. You rarely see Van Dijk do a slide tackle.
It's because he had pace.
And Rio had the right. You're right. He had the right amount of pace, but his positioning was also immense. It's even like when you look at like Thiago Silva now, his positioning is immense. No matter how old he gets, he puts himself in the correct position, and you don't need the pace as much. And it's pretty much what Van Dijk does. And I think Ferdinand was doing that, but he also had pace to support it, and he was a defender that would bring the ball out in a time where defenders carrying the ball wasn't big. It wasn't the thing that people wanted their defenders to do. He was doing it.
True. So who would you say then, if you had to have like a top 3 list of defenders in the era that we're talking about?
In no particular order, Ferdinand, Vidic. That last slot for me is difficult because do you know who I think people sleep on? Carvalho.
Not over John Terry, bro. Come on.
Hey,
come on, bro.
No, listen. We're forgetting that Carvalho was a part of that team that changed Chelsea, but not John Terry.
Yeah, I know.
You're
I remember that
on the
Jose Mourinho teams.
Exactly. You're sleeping on that fact, bro. People are sleeping on that, bro.
But so is John Terry.
Yeah, so John Terry. But without Carvalho, that team doesn't work, bro.
Bro, you're forgetting John Terry was there before
Chelsea.
Jose. Mr. Chelsea through and through.
Yeah, he was there before Chelsea, but he didn't win anything without Jose, bro. Jose brought that winning mentality to Chelsea.
But he won the Champions League after Jose. He won the Premier League after Jose.
But so did Jose. I don't get what we're getting at here, bro. And so did Carvalho, bro. No. Carvalho went on to Real Madrid to win the Champions League, bro. He's won the Euros, bro. He's won this. What I'm talking about. So what are we sleeping on here?
For me, I just don't. When you talk about the top 3 defenders in our generation, I'm just not putting Carvalho there.
Okay, like I said, people are sleeping on the fact of how good he actually was, bro.
Yeah, for me, top spot is gonna have to be JT. Like I said, don't like the human being, but defender, I can't take anything from him. Then it'll be, I'd say Vidic. Vidic he was a wall basically. And third, I'm gonna have to say Company.
All right. No problem. I guess that's it. Let us know what you think in the comments, people. Who are your top 3 defenders of the Premier League in this era? Okay, so the next topic we move on to is the greatest or the best midfielder of the Premier League era, or our generation as such.
So I think we already discussed that. What we're removing Ronaldo out of this.
Yeah, because I think if we unless we talk about Ronaldo while he was just at Man United, like, because the problem is what tends to happen is we look at Ronaldo and we judge him on now. Not on
what he's done after United.
Yeah, we judge him now instead of what he was when he was at Man United.
Yeah. I believe he gets in like the XI, like the 11 of like the Premier League team, but as the greatest midfielder, probably not as Premier League
at that time. Probably not for me anyway. Probably not for me. But the problem. That's the thing. The problem we have is the shadow of what he's doing right now. It's hard to look past what he's doing right now and go, oh, do you know what? He's not one of the best.
that's actually true. That's actually true.
So that's why I was like, just take him out of the argument for a second. And just have a thought process and go, boom. Who would you have as your number one? And for me personally, with Paul Scholes, people sleep on him the whole time. I say England slept on him, bro. They still do. They still do. And that was England's downfall. That was to England's detriment, sleeping on a player like that. Could do everything.
Apart from tackle.
Even that he could do.
Yeah.
Nah, he couldn't tackle, bro. Stop lying to yourself.
He couldn't side tackle, bro.
Paul Scholes couldn't. He couldn't be trusted tackling anyone.
He could do it all, bro. He could do it all, bro. And then people.
Money, what you saying?
Don't know. I'd probably say this one's probably the hardest one because we have so many like Premier League legends in midfield. You got Lampard, you got Gerrard, you got Scholes, you got Giggsy. If I had to pick one, I'm gonna might have to say Gerrard.
Speak on it, son. Speak on it.
I might just for what I'm picking out because you've got to think Scholes played with a world-class midfield where United compared to Liverpool. Yeah, Gerrard, granted, he did play with Xavi and Alonso. Let's not forget that.
That's what I'm saying. People sleeping on the fact that he had a world-class player with him playing that popping those balls.
Yeah. Apart from that,
for 3 years, not 20 years.
Come on, bro.
But apart from that, he was literally carrying that Liverpool squad forever. He was in Champions League finals, in the Premier League. Like Lampard, granted, Lampard was also top three, probably you could say top three, top five, but he was not carrying that Chelsea side the way Steven Gerrard was carrying that Liverpool side for so many years. Granted, his downfall was he couldn't win the Premier League, but with the Liverpool side they had, it was going to be difficult. But that's my answer.
You know what, Manny, I found a new level of respect for you for acknowledging greatness. But you know, funny thing is though, I'm not even going to pick Gerrard because like, to me, I'll always say the best player I ever saw, and Liverpool fans are going to kill me for this, but to me, I've always remained consistent that the best player I've ever seen play is Paul Scholes. Like, I used to just literally watch him think, right, this guy's actually sick. Like I said, the only thing Paul Scholes couldn't do was just tackle. But in terms of, if we're talking like overall in terms of the Premier League, I think the best Premier League midfielder that a lot of people don't really talk about a lot, I think people sleep on like Vieira, you know.
I don't think people sleep on him,
I don't think sleep on him.
I don't
think he's up there.
To be fair, I just think we're forgetting, this guy was the pivot, one of the pivotal points of an invincible team. How many people can actually say that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
FA Cup, done it. Like Premier League, invincibles, done it. Yeah. He could pass the ball. He wasn't scared to like tear it up as well. And leadership,
also tackle.
Could tackle. The leadership skills were next to nothing. He was literally like a manager on the pitch, and like he wasn't scared to like give one to take one. Do you know what I mean? Take one to give one.
Yeah.
So like for me, I think people sleep on players like that. And also, if we're gonna talk about players like that, we have to talk about players like obviously like Roy Keane, like Yaya Toure. That people, I think people sleep on how good Yaya Toure actually was. Steph, you being one of them.
No, he was lazy, bro. He was lazy, bro.
People sleep on Yaya, bro.
He was lazy. Yeah. He was good, but he was lazy, bro. I don't care what anyone says, bro. He was lazy,
bro. Yeah. I remember the day me and you watched City versus, I think it was Sunderland. You were slating this guy's lazy.
And he was lazy, bro. And
then we saw him pick up the ball in his own box, run down the pitch and score. And I was like, what now? And he's like,
he's still lazy, bro.
I think it was more to do with like the tracking back part of him.
He was lazy.
That was kind of lazy in midfield.
He was lazy, but he got away with it because he scored like 20 goals a season or something like that. People weren't sleeping on the fact that he was lazy. But if you're doing your job, you're doing your job. Like that's not really the problem. I think people do probably.
He's got to be in the convo, right? He's got to be in the convo, right?
For the best. Well, he's got to be in the conversation. Yeah, he's got to be in the conversation. Definitely. Do I consider him there? I feel like if you're going to put him in the convo, you've got to put people like Cesc Fabregas in the convo as well. I think you've got to put Cesc in the convo. Though. There's no way you can't be in the convo. No way you can't be in the conversation.
But you know what though, Steph? I would put KDB over Cesc.
Oh, I don't know because I feel at a younger age,
he was
Cesc
doing it.
carrying that Arsenal team, bro.
Yeah.
At a
You
younger
can't deny
age,
that.
Cesc was carrying.
Yeah,
that
I'm
Arsenal
not, to be
team.
fair. I can't even deny that. But we can't deny at their peak what KDB has been doing has been out of this world. We can't even deny that. I don't think we've ever seen look at Cesc and be like, Cesc is probably top 3 in the world. Whereas we're looking at KDB in an era of Messi and Ronaldo.
I don't know that Chelsea season. When he came back, that first Chelsea season he had, people were talking about him being at least top 3.
I think
that season.
I think the problem he's had is that he went to Barcelona and he ended up in the shadow
Feels
of
like
people like Iniesta and Xavi, bro.
Yeah. Is it me or Barcelona killing players? Like, if you go there, like at this moment,
the problem what he just went there at the wrong time, bro. He just went there at the wrong time. That was it. Bro.
Yeah,
wrong time.
It
wasn't even necessarily the wrong time because it took him a season to get in and he got in the team, sort of thing. But he went in at a time where like you can't. Xavi and Iniesta are almost irreplaceable, bro. And then you just got Busquets sitting there, bro. So it was just like, how do you get into that team? And that was his problem. But when he left Arsenal at that time, he was one of the top midfielders in the world.
Yeah, true. And to be fair, what you guys said is actually right. When he came to Chelsea that first season back, I remember that season he did a madness. But the way I'm comparing it, I've just seen the consistency of KDB for the last 4 or 5 years. Like, sees like KDB's doing a madness right now. Like,
I get that.
I think
you got to remember the quality around.
Yeah, but Cesc also had a quality around him at Chelsea and Barca.
But then he did it, and he did it at those clubs. He won Champions Leagues. He won titles.
Yeah, but all I'm saying, in my team, I would rather have KDB in my team than Fabregas.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good question, yo. That is a good poll right there, bro. Because I don't know. At their peak, I feel like I would have prime KDB. I don't know, man. One of the best passers of the ball ever.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It depends on the style of football you want to play, bro.
Yeah, you know what? We might have to put that one to a poll. On Instagram.
Fair, they're pretty similar players, though. I would say.
I think it depends on the style of football you want to play. Because I don't think KDB goes in and plays that tiki-taka football that Barcelona like to play.
I think KDB can drive with the ball better.
I don't think, but that's the thing. I don't think KDB fits into that Barca team back then. I don't think.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Steph. And I think Fabregas, he can sit a bit deeper and dictate play a bit better. Yeah. Whereas I feel like KDB can pick up the ball and drive a bit better with it. Whereas I've not seen much better crosses of the ball than KDB, and also his passing range is scary. But at the same time, though, having said that, Fabregas could pick up passes as well, though.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
That's a debatable question. That one, yo.
We'll put that on a poll.
Wow. We can debate about that for a while.
How about Roy Keane or David Silva? Any of these guys?
David Silva, he's defo up there, but
he's a prem legend, but not someone I would consider
as top 3.
Yeah,
defo. No, top 10. Yeah. I'll put him
top 10.
Okay,
even
that's even a stretch. But
top 10? Oh, I think he definitely makes top 10.
I definitely makes top 10.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Who else is there? Like, who else?
Obviously, people like Roy Keane, N'Golo Kante.
Not Kante.
Really?
Bro, you say that, but really? think about it.
I don't know. There's so many players in that Arsenal Invincible squad that was better than Kante. Come on, think about that Invincible squad. You put them that midfield.
Nah, I disagree.
What Perez? You would not have
Kante. I would have Kante over Gilberto Silva, bro. Any day of the week, bro.
You would have him over Perez.
I'd have him over Gilberto, bro. Silva, bro.
I'm talking about Perez here.
Yeah, but Perez is a winger, bro. Like, Perez is on the wing, bro. He wasn't sitting in the middle, bro. We're talking about players that are sitting in the middle, bro.
I wouldn't have him over Vieira.
I'd have him over Gilberto Silva any day of the week, bro.
Gilberto Silva stuff, you make a good point. I'll see what you're saying. Like, that guy, yeah.
Any day of the week, bro. Because you've got to think about it. That Arsenal midfield was Vieira, Silva, Perez, and then like Lundberg or like Wilton or something like that playing out on the wing, like that way. And then Henry and Burkham, bro. So in that middle of the park, I'd have him over Gilberto Silva any day of the week, bro.
Yeah,
any day of the week, bro. So for me, he has to make top 10. What about, this is going to be a question, bro. Where does Paul Pogba sit, bro?
Oh, behave.
Where does Paul Pogba sit, bro?
Bro,
we're talking about a World Cup winner, bro.
We're talking about Prem
bro,
here.
listen. Yeah, bro, listen. Bro, listen. I'm gonna say it now. People are gonna be angry. Pogba doesn't even come in the top 20 of all the greats in the Premier League, bro. He doesn't even come in the top 20. You know why? For the simple reason, you couldn't name me to this day, Steph, even as a United fan, you couldn't name me 7 good Paul Pogba games for United in the Premier League.
Could, but you wouldn't know them, bro.
7. Name me 7, bro. 7 isn't a lot.
No, you're being a bit harsh, Dad. He's probably had more than 7 games.
But this is the thing. Eddie ain't watching him like that, bro. Look,
exactly.
Him,
so you know what it is, though? From the times I'm judging it based off games, I'm talking about the players that we're naming, they had seasons when they were bossing stuff. Let's think about it. Roy Keane was bossing things for like 5 years. Vieira bossing things for like 3-4 years. Gerrard bossing things for 15 years. Pogba, we're struggling to find him one good season. Yeah. He can't be in the top 20, brother. He can't. If anyone here says Paul Pogba is going to be in the top 20 greatest Premier League midfielders of all time, someone's getting. Yeah, it's not happening.
Okay, so then, and another question is: Does Bruno Fernandes get in that reading?
He's been here 1 year, bro. What? What, Steph? I know you're trying to get your boys in the team.
No, I'm just asking.
Turn this into a comedy show.
I know, Steph. Steph's trying to turn this into a comedy. Why would he be there, bro? That's like saying would flipping who? I don't even know who to even throw in there at the moment. To be fair, because Steph, you blow my mind with that one.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes. How can you put? He's never won a trophy with United, and we're talking about top one of the greatest in the Premier League. Come on, bro.
Alright, cool.
What are you actually? Would you actually consider him? Would you actually put him there?
I'm just asking a question. I didn't say I'd put him there.
I think he's trolling with that.
I'm just asking the question, bro.
He's got. If he's there, Curtis Jones has to be there.
I'm just asking the question. Well, no, but you know,
Curtis Jones, Premier League winner. Why?
I'm just asking the question.
All right. So who we go for then? So Manny, you said Gerrard on the basis that he carried Liverpool for that many years. Steph, who you saying?
Scholesy.
For me, it's a toss-up between Vieira and Gerrard, but I'll say Scholes is the best player I ever saw play. But in terms of who I thought was the best player, I'd say Patrick Vieira. Like, I was just a massive Vieira fanboy. So yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Well, now we move on to the third and final subject, and that is the greatest Premier League striker of our era. And who we think it is. Ed, go and open it up for
guys. Like, I know you guys are gonna go to the generics, but you're gonna talk about what's his name, Shearer. You're gonna talk about Henry. You're gonna talk about these.
I'm gonna say Suarez.
But it's got to be. How can it not be Suarez? No. Think about this, right? This guy
can't be.
He scored.
Unfortunately,
he had this guy, right? He scored 31 goals in 33 games.
You're talking about
crazy season. No, it wasn't. It wasn't even just that one season though.
It was what, 2 seasons?
He had two.
Okay.
Two of the.
So then how could we have him in that conversation?
Before you go on with your arguments, how many Premier League and Champions Leagues did he win?
He didn't win. All right, he didn't win anything with Liverpool of substance. Fair enough, yeah.
That disqualifies him.
Your argument's pants because we just spoke about the fact that we can't put Fernandes in there because he's only been there for a season and a half, bro.
No. Well, the thing is, Suarez, come on, was actually on job for. Are you gonna deny Suarez was on job?
Hear what I'm saying to you.
For his time at Liverpool.
Hear what I'm saying. If you're talking about people being there for short amounts of time, you're talking about people doing it for ages, bro. He was there for 2 seasons, bro. That ain't doing it for ages, bro.
Yeah, but the 2 seasons he did it, very few players have struggled to have that kind of season in Premier League history. Bro, listen,
like Michu, bro. Michu had them sort of seasons, bro. He had 2 seasons like that for Swansea, bro.
Bro, Suarez scored 31 goals in 33 games and no penalties, bro.
Bro, I can't put Suarez up there, bro. He's a racist, bro.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm saying. So to hell with Suarez as the person that I think he's an absolutely disgusting human being. But on the pitch, like even when you watch him play, like when you watch him play, you're like, wow. You might hate him, but you might be like, wow.
If you were gonna put anyone up there, yeah, I would have expected from Liverpool. I would have more gone like Fernando Torres or something.
He wasn't touching Suarez for me.
He was light, bro. For me, Fernando Torres was lighting up defenders, and grabbing goals, bro. lighting up defenders and he done it for a consistent amount of time, even though he died off a bit towards the end, bro. Towards the end, but he lit him up for a good 3 or 4 seasons. But for me, Suarez can't be up there, bro. Not
so you wouldn't have him top 5 of Premier League history?
Nah.
Wow. So who would you put? So who would you put there then? Who you guys saying?
For me, obviously,
top 5. You say, or top 3?
No, like I just want to see what you guys are working on.
Manny.
For me, obviously, Arsenal fan. So for me, the greatest is obviously Thierry Henry. Then I'm putting Aguero above Suarez. I'm putting Alan Shearer above Suarez, and I'm putting Rooney above Suarez. So that's already 4 there for Yed. Top 5, maybe he gets the 5th one, but
I think there's too many to choose from personally, because if we're talking about people that have done it consistently and people that are sleeped on, I would obviously, for me, Thierry Henry's number 1. Thierry Henry's number 1, but then you also got Aguero. Aguero sits up there, and then you've got people like Didier Drogba. Like, can't sleep on Drogba. Can't sleep on Drogba. And then for me personally, you've got people like Van Nistelrooy, clinical striker. Like all these man. And then if you want to go out the box, you can go Suarez. But even then, I think people sleep on Jamie Vardy, bro. I think Jamie Vardy's been more consistent. What do you mean by no, bro? Check his stats and then come talk to me, bro.
To be fair, Jamie Vardy has got a Premier League title, and he's probably got the same amount of goals like
check his stats and then come say
to Suarez.
What are we talking about Premier League stats? I guarantee any money Luis Suarez's Premier League stats are better than Jamie Vardy's. I guarantee it.
Bro, Jamie Vardy scored, I think over 25 goals for the last however long he's been in the Premier League, bro.
Bro, okay, so for Liverpool, Suarez scored 69 in 110. And Jamie Vardy scored 293 games, 134 goals.
That's sounding similar to me.
I don't know.
I can't do the maths. I can't do the maths off the top of my head, but that's a good goal scoring record to me.
If you guys are really saying you'd rather have Jamie Vardy and Suarez in your team, then you man obviously didn't watch Suarez properly.
No one's saying
you man didn't watch Suarez.
No one's saying
we're talking about Premier League.
Yeah, Premier League. And when we're talking about quality, and like you guys always try to say, oh well,
you said greatest ever, bro. The question is greatest in the Premier League, bro. He can't be considered in that role, bro, because he was only here for 2 seasons, bro. He was 2 seasons, bro, but not the greatest. Yeah, no.
The thing is, like, you guys want to make this excuse like, oh well, the defenders today are not the same. Maybe that's why Vardy's getting so many goals. Suarez was turning Terry. He was twisting all these man that you man put high up in your list as for defenders. Let's not forget that, by the way. He was turning up Ferdinand left, right, centre. He was doing Terry on a regular.
I hear what you're saying, bro. But via your argument, bro, that you made when we were talking about midfielders, bro, he can't be considered, bro. He cannot be considered. Via your argument, he cannot be considered. He simply can't.
Well, because of the consistency.
Yeah, he can't be considered, bro. He can't be considered. It's that simple.
And unfortunately, we've got to penalise him for only having 3 seasons at Liverpool. Like,
yeah, for me, even though for me it's a personal thing. Even though you only have 2 seasons, I still put him above there. Now,
no, he can't be there. He can't be there.
So you guys are both saying Henry.
Henry would be top, yeah, 100%.
Okay, so where would you guys put what's his name? Robin van Persie.
Oh,
do you know what? He was good, but he wasn't greatest because he was injury prone in the beginning of his career.
Yeah, he missed a lot of
football.
Yeah,
right, via his injury. So he was good. He was a top striker, but not the greatest. He had an amazing left foot, though.
Yeah.
An amazing left foot.
Okay, where would you put Michael Owen? That's probably what we all think. Because let's not get twisted. Michael Owen won a Ballon d'Or, by the way.
Yeah. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. Do you know what? Yeah, I would say I never probably saw like Michael Owen as everyone remembers Michael Owen. That's what I would say. I just remember Michael Owen getting injured at that, was it Euro?
England game.
Yeah, in that England game. And after that, he was never the same, bro. He was never the same striker after that. But from what I've been told, that he was rapid and he was clinical. So I can't really.
He was Mbappe before Mbappe was around. That sounds crazy, but that's literally what it was like. When Michael Owen burst onto the scene, he was actually Mbappe, if not better.
Yeah, I remember when he done us over as well. I think it was the FA Cup.
FA Cup final, my guy.
Thing. Yeah, done us over in that last few minutes.
I'm trying to think who else.
There's so many strikers to consider.
Diego Costa.
Nah,
I didn't really
rate to say it.
But
you know what though?
He worked for Chelsea.
You know who people always sleep on? Well, maybe not sleep on, but never talk about one of the greats. You know, Dennis Bergkamp.
Yeah, Dennis Bergkamp was underrated.
Yeah, he was definitely underrated, especially in that invincible side.
He was definitely underrated, but he was. Yeah. He had magical feet, bro. It's like, do you know who else was like who was underrated? Dimitar Berbatov.
Yeah, for me, he just didn't score enough goals.
Underrated, but he had the touch of a magician.
Yeah, true. I give him that.
Actual magician, bro.
You know what though? We're talking about all these players. You know who we're forgetting? Our boy Harry Kane.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
we're actually speaking about boy Harry.
Spurs are so irrelevant.
No, people aren't gonna like this, yeah. But I think he's an overrated striker, bro. I think he's so dead, bro. I feel like he scores goals 100%. People ain't gonna like this, but he's not a striker built for this era. He's a striker from the old school era.
I don't know if I can agree, Steph. Like, I don't think I can call someone that scored over 25 goals for the last 7 years dead. I don't know, Steph. I don't know. I think he does what's on the tin. He gets you goals.
He does.
I think it's because he plays for Tottenham as well. That's why.
He does for Tottenham, yeah.
Is there any difference between Harry Kane and Wayne Rooney?
Yeah. A big difference.
I think Harry Kane is a better goal scorer than Rooney.
I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No, when you actually deep it,
I don't know the stats on Rooney versus thing, so I don't know. I can't say who was better. But if I'm preferring, who do I prefer? If someone said Kane or Rooney, I'm taking Rooney 10 times out of 10.
I just think Harry Kane. Listen, don't get me wrong. Okay, so let me explain myself. Harry Kane is a great goal scorer. And we're seeing him add stuff to his game now. But he's just like lacks other stuff. He's just a bit plain.
Is it the wow factor basically? Like,
he's just a bit like, he's just like casual Barry, like that. He's just
I think most of it has to do because he plays with Tottenham. I think that's why.
And also the fact he's never won anything either. That's got to be a big part of it.
Yeah.
All right. So what striker are we going for, people?
You guys are gonna make me change my mind now. So now I'm gonna have to change and turn on my boy Suarez, and I'm probably gonna say, to be fair, it's probably gonna be Henry because I can't even deny. To be fair, Henry was a different animal. He was a different kind of animal.
Yeah.
Steph, full house.
Full house for Henry. All right, then. Perfect. Well, guys, let us know what you think in the comments in regards to your best striker of this era. Again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and again, we will see you here next week. All right. See you later.